Welcome to the bold analysis. The discussion about Ndindi, Nyoro, Rigathi Gachagua is not ending. And the last time I analyzed it, I said that those asking President Ruto to pick Ndindi Nyoro as the deputy on the basis of counties that we supported Nyeri, we supported Uhuru in Kiambu and Uhuru in Kiambu, then Kibaki and Rigathi but from Nyeri, and are working with the county card, were actually starting a disaster. This is because, and I think I mentioned that, I'm just explaining that because I wanted to get the basis. Because there are counties that have never. If we go that way, I asked, what will Tharaka Nithi say? What will Kenyaga say? What will Laikipia say? And just in that, Chairman Maina Njenga came out and said he will support Ndindi Nyoro. Now, yesterday, another member of parliament from Kirinyaga came out and made a speech. In fact, there's some few things he said about the Mount Kenya politics. I wanted to listen to her speech because her speech is both on putting some accountability question, and that is very important so that you understand where she's coming from before she puts a comment on Waiguru joining the race.
I think I'm not asking very hard questions. Article 10 provides for accountability. And what I am saying, I am reiterating again that I am the member of parliament from Mwea constituency. And part of my work is oversight. So I have asked this question in parliament. How much money is collected in terms of operations and maintenance fee, where we pay 4,000, 1,000 for Ratum, and 3,000 shillings for main crop. That is 4,000, roughly 4,000 every year. And I have more than 35,000 acres. These are the ones in the books. If you multiply by 4,000, and I know we have expanded Mwea rice fields, so there are still other acres which are not part of this. I am multiplying that and I am getting 140 million every year. Then surely with 140 million, you don't want to tell me what you have done with that money? I don't think this is a hard question. Let them give us services, let them desilt our canals, let them make the on-farm roads, let them unblock the blockages, and let them make it easier for us to do business, for us to do farming in Mwea. They cannot be frustrating us the way they are doing, like we are helpless. Surely, hii ni madharau gani? Oversight lazima itakuwa.
Tunamuomba mtutengeneze hizi barabara. Juu tunashindwa, mchele tutapeleka wapi? Ama tutambemba aje? Tutakuwa tukitoa kwa shamba na njia gani? Muwe mnatutengenezea barabara ili tuweze hata sisi kukuza mmea wetu vizuri. Mnatushika, mnatukamata, mnakuja na lori saa 9 za usiku. Mnakuja nyumba kwa nyumba kwa nyumba. Sasa tunamuomba mtutishike tena. Sisi tutengeneze barabara ili tuweze kukuza mimea yetu vizuri na tuweze kumletea mchele. Rumokenda mnaenda mnabeba hiyo mchanga, tunaona tu maroli akienda kuenda tujui inaenda wapi. Mmetusahau, tukumbukeni.
Hii siasa ya mlima nayo ni kama imekuja mapema sana. Sasa President Ruto is in office with his deputy president Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. The duo is in office and family in office and in control of this country, and I don't think there's any vacant position. But should there be a vacant position? And my words, mark my words, should there arise a vacancy? All of us have candidates. Even Kirinyaga has a candidate. We have our governor who is just leaving now after 2 years, after 2 terms. It is not a reserve, I don't know, for Muranga, I don't know, for Nyeri. It's not about that. Let's have a woman deputy president this time around.
So you get what he's saying? Do you think it's just saying from, just hearsay that even Waiguru, even as we have another person here, Waiguru can join? It's not it. She's very intentional from the way she's talking. I've seen that there is another, I think some guys have also taken up that story. So that's it. And talking about that, just before we go up on Pele, hey, you remember Mwea? I've been shown some road. There is a video where the voter or the locals there are complaining about a road. So where they can, yes, they have rice, they're planting rice, but they don't have a good road to transport those goods, transport rice from the farm, maybe to the nearest market center, the nearest place, collection point. I looked at this, and guys, you may really need to look at this. There is something about that video. I picked it, and it really struck my mind because it shows that the intervention on agriculture is not just fertilizer. The intervention of agriculture is not just fertilizer. Try to imagine, mchele is something, hizo small grains kama zikimwagika kwa barabara kama hiyo, ripping. So when and even as we tax, there are some special zones we need to give incentives, like barabara. We need to, the leadership, Kenya Kwanza, those are the things they need to lobby for. They need to lobby for that. Now, back to what I was saying. Do you think the MP is just speaking because for the sake of it? The answer is no. The answer is no. I know very well that Rigathi Gachagua is winning that narrative, is reverting that narrative by saying it's too early for 2032. It's true early for 2032. It's too early. That one, of course, you can't deny. It's true, it's 2032. But do you know the crafters are not talking about 2032? They want it to start in 2027. Which 2027 will all agree is not too early because the president and the team are already campaigning. And some gossips, some hot tea. Someone argued with me somewhere that, Kevin, do you think that Mount Kenya MPs are feeling sidelined by the fact that the president is just working with the deputy president alone and maybe Ndindi Nyoro, that is left out others, as was the routine way back when he started? Some people feel like, oh, no, sasa umetuacha, umechukua ile thinking around that line. Now, there is something about Waiguru and Cecil Merere that I want to explain in this podcast before I explain to you the real motive of this, the end game of this narrative. Waiguru is serving his second term. So before Waiguru was settled to be the COG, there were two positions. There was that bit of Council of Governors and chairperson of UDA party. And the initial plan was Waiguru to be the chairperson of the UDA party, so that Cecily Mbarire would take the position of the COG chair. Maybe UDA would front her. Of course, they had the numbers, so they will use state numbers to push her. With understanding that Waiguru was going to play a key role in revamping UDA party, and of course leading the UDA campaigns, being part of the UDA campaigns in Mount Kenya, given the fact that, number one, she's an outgoing governor. So she will stand a very prime position to get time to campaign because she's not under pressure from home voters. She doesn't have the burden of incumbency. Cecil Mbarire will not, an incumbent governor to push, it's not very easy because even herself or himself, he's struggling to convince the voters. So it's not normally very easy for a governor that is also seeking a term to campaign comfortably for to participate comfortably in the mainstream campaign. But things changed. And at some point, people felt like, oh, maybe if Governor Waiguru is moved up there, might be a threat to some fellows. And that is how things change. That one is normally, that's normally exclusive kutoka hapa. Guys, what is the end game? What exactly do these people want to, what will they end? Because the truth of the matter is this. Ruto cannot drop Rigathi Gachagua in 2027. Even if because if he drops Gachagua, let me ask you, Gachagua has been picked as a deputy president. So do you think, which other position can he vie for? He can only vie for presidency. So if you pick Gachagua, if you drop Gachagua, Gachagua will vie. If Gachagua vies, he'll be able to take the votes in Nyeri. Even if it might not get the whole Mount Kenya, he might take Nyeri. That's two. Number two, there will also be sympathy. You know, there is also sympathy votes. This is one thing you need to understand. Kenyans are humans. The nimeteswa thing, Gachagua can also play a victim card on William Ruto when he's dropped. So, forget about it. There's nothing like Gachagua being dropped. I don't buy that. I don't see it. I don't see it. However, this narrative has a danger of, and I think I don't know whether the crafters are also seeing it. There is something that Waluke said. He was attending some event. Waluke said it somewhere, and he said that other people are looking for it. But the moment Kenya continues to put a scramble for the deputy president post while angling for 2032, they should also remember that other communities also want it. I don't know the crafters are seeing it because there seems to be setting an agenda that after Ruto it must be Mount Kenya. Let's get that soundbite from Waluke.
Hapa nataka kuambia nyinyi jamii ya Wakikuyu kwamba mko na bahati. Mumetawala hii inji kwa muda mrefu. Na saa hii mko na deputy president. Wanafanya kazi na William kikamilifu. Na sisi tunasemanga ile uko nayo kwa mkono, ndege ile uko nayo kwa mkono ndio hiyo. Msikuwe na tamaa mingi. Tunza huyo ambao mko naye ili waendeshe inji hii na William Ruto kisawa sawa. Na msuie watu kutusi rais kila wakati, kila mahali. Na nyinyi kwa vile mko kwa hii serikali msipatikane kwamba nyinyi pia mnahusiana na wale ambaye wanapika rais. Mimi nilisimama kwa chama ya Jubilee ile, lakini nilikuwa UDA na nikatolewa kwa nguvu. Kaambiwa rudi ama tukuongezee kitu kingine. Si mnajua hiyo? Lakini kwa vile mtu wako kwa power unakubali tu. Rais Ruto anajaribu, alichukua inchi ikiwa na madeni mengi sana. Karibu trilioni 11. Sasa pesa ila anapata hii serikali wakiwa na Gachagua pesa mingi inaenda kulipa madeni ya inchi yetu. So wale waliharibu ndio wanapika hii serikali. Na mkumbuke, msaidie hii serikali, msimame imara na hii serikali. Si kusema ati sisi nyinyi mkitaka mnakuwa na tamaa mnataka huyu hako mnataka. Kwani iko kabila moja ama mbili peke yake Kenya hii? Hata sisi tuko na tunahitaji hiyo kiti. Sasa kama mnataka kutupa hiyo namba mbili mkichezea Gachagua ati sijui nini na sisi Waluya tuko hapa. Na pia ni wengi sisi. Sisi tumepewa speaker. Tunatunza yeye. Tumepewa Musalia, Prime Minister, Chief Minister of Foreign Affairs, tunatunza yeye. Tumepewa na Mwamba Sports, tunatunza yeye. Tumepewa mama huyu daktari huyu na Homija, tunatunza yeye. And we are satisfied. Na nyinyi mko na position na mko na vitu mingi. Na sasa mnataka kucheza hapa na wao Rigathi sijui. Kwa nini na mwaka moja tu? Hakuna miaka miwili.
Yes, that's what I was saying. That other people are also looking for that opportunity. So it's not a pressure of one community. And that is why even the crafters must be very careful. But I see some few objectives that that the crafters want to achieve. Number one, I think this is a card to ensure that Rigathi Gachagua is demeaned and does not become the de facto Mount Kenya spokesperson. I'm using spokesperson, and I want to explain, not kingpin. Spokesperson in the sense that he leads Ruto's campaign. In fact, this is it. They don't want Rigathi Gachagua to be the person leading Ruto campaign in the mountain. And this will also be, and now this objective can also bring Ruto on board. Even Ruto may not want DP Rigathi Gachagua to lead his campaigns for some reasons. It's a political trap. But Rigathi ni nani? When the president was in Kalenjin, he was in the Kalenjin land. He camped there. So when the president also goes to Mount Kenya, he will also be there. But I think that was also the objective, because they know very well that that will push Rigathi to demand for an early endorsement. He might demand that, oh, nakupatia sahi, nakutafutia ikura, nakupatia endorsers. Or it's a precursor for 2022, 2027, 2032. Because someone starts saying, I campaigned for you. I made you, even after people. That's it. Now, Rigathi will remain with Ruto, whether they are failing or not. If the others will leave, they might have to leave. He must just remain there, because unless he goes to vie for presidency, which might be a big risk. Number two, possibility that a section of Mount Kenya leaders are opposed to Rigathi Gachagua being the deputy party leader. That's coming. Elections, UDA grassroots elections were postponed in December because of that contentious issue. And you will see that only Nyeri, Mutahi Kahiga, and a host of leaders from Nyeri were defending Rigathi. That Rigathi should be the deputy party leader, and only one deputy party leader. So, when all this comes, Ruto might go back to the drawing board and say, now Rigathi, sasa hawa watu wakikupigia kelele hivi utakuwa deputy party leader. They're setting that precursor, and by then that debate is coming. Kama wameweza kusema wataki kuwa running mate 2027, they also mean, what they also mean is that they want, they might not accept him to be the DP. And if the deputy party leader, and maybe the same Waiguru might be fronted on that end. So many things are working on that. Number three, this is an accountability question on Rigathi Gachagua in terms of, yes, you want to be the running mate. What have you done for the people? This is what this narrative is about. It's not a narrative it's not something to eject you from power, but it's an accountability question for you to go back to the people and explain to the people. This is what the crafters want to say. They want to achieve. They want to hear Rigathi telling people what he has done. And they know very well that he was given the coffee sector, and that has not worked well. They know. Tea, coffee, macadamia, they know that Rigathi has failed in that sector. They know very well that Rigathi brought in something on Mungiki, and it was a hoax. It was not something existing. And they know very well that Mount Kenya had been making a lot of noise about Mau Road. But Rigathi has kept quiet. Rigathi is never talking about that Mau Road, despite the fact that is. And it's a question of, what have you brought to the people? What is being called as Rigathi is weak and Ruto might lose? No. They just want, because what Rigathi might have to say, what is his defense? His defense is, I was the DP, I was the deputy president, and by that, we have managed to do this. And as a deputy president from this region, I've also lobbied for XYZ for this region. Now, that answer does not exist. Lastly, someone is looking for a new Mount Kenya spark. Someone is looking for something that can rejuvenate the voters, because the voters are tired. Looking for some confrontation, some antagonism that can activate the young people there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet tomorrow. Thank you.